So I was rewatching gameplay of Days Gone the other night, one of my absolute favorite games, hands down. And I started thinking, man, why haven't they made a sequel to this game yet? And my brain did that thing it always does. The rabbit hole kicked in, and I started piecing together a theory that completely blew my mind. If you're familiar, Days Gone was a massive commercial success, selling upwards of 8 to 9 million copies. But Sony aggressively pulled the plug on the sequel. They shut down the second installment so fast it made the entire gaming community's head spin. The corporate suits claimed it was just about initial review scores, but what if that's just a cover story? What if the developers dug a little too close to the truth? Welcome back to Joey Unleashed. As you know, I am not here to debunk, I am here for the mystery. And just a heads up, before we dive into the deep end, this video is for entertainment purposes only, and there are going to be some major spoilers in this episode regarding the game's plot. So if you haven't finished it yet, consider this your warning. For those who haven't played it, the game follows an outlaw biker named Deacon St. John as he fights to survive a brutal outbreak in the Pacific Northwest. The emotional driving force of the entire story is Deacon's search for his wife Sarah, a brilliant botanist he thought was lost on the first night of the collapse. Late in the game, you discover Sarah is actually alive and working inside a highly classified secure facility. And that is where the plot shifts from a standard survival story into a deep state corporate thriller, because you find out that Sarah's innocent research on plants was secretly hijacked by her employers to create a classified biological agent.
We used to grow wild ginger and grapefruit here. And then all of this changed. They sealed everything off. They took away my clearance.
To understand why this game's narrative is so risky, you have to look at how the viral outbreak actually starts in the lore. It doesn't come from a random mutation. It starts at a top secret facility in the high desert of Oregon called Cloverdale Research. The game explicitly states a young lab intern discovered the powers that be were funding an offensive engineering project. The lore reveals that this intern wanted to be exactly like Edward Snowden. But don't take my word for it.
He hacked the system. He got behind the firewall. He told me that this was some sort of classified project or something. I don't know.
Classified project. Just slow down and...
He wanted to be the next Edward Snowden. You see, he wanted to blow the lid off of this entire thing.
He hacked a secure system, stole a classified sample, and planned to smuggle it to a journalist at a convention to expose the entire secret program. Instead, he accidentally triggers the outbreak, and it infects the whole world. Think about how incredibly bold that script writing is for a mainstream PlayStation game, explicitly framing an apocalypse around a biological cover-up and a real-world whistleblower. And look where the game is set, Crater Lake, Oregon. In the game, Crater Lake becomes the final stronghold for Nero, the shadowy federal agency conducting highly unethical classified experiments on the remaining population. But in the real world, Crater Lake is a historic epicenter for high strangeness. It's the deepest lake in America, a hotspot for the bizarre unexplained disappearances, and sits right in the isolated Pacific Northwest wilderness where isolated classified testing has historically taken place. The planned sequel was set to expose Nero's true leadership and reveal the agency was actively steering the evolution of the infection from the shadows. And if you think I'm just reading too much into the video game, look at the corporate drama that happened next. Sony recently gave us a remastered version for the PS5 and fans went wild, demanding a sequel. The numbers were there, the money was there, but instead of letting the studio make Days Gone 2, corporate allegedly forced them to abandon the franchise completely to work on a secret live military project. And then, in a massive wave of internal shakeups, management quietly stepped in and shelved that new project too, leaving the studio's future completely up in the air. The original game directors have openly stated that the higher-ups have aggressively pushed back against their franchise and made sure a follow-up would never see the light of day. They can call it bad review scores or internal changes all day long, but we know better. That game was so good. The storyline, the gameplay, the open world, you don't shelve a 9 million copy success unless the story it was trying to tell was getting a little too close to home. Or at least, that's where my mind goes. How about you? Any of my gamers out there who enjoyed this game want a part 2? Because I still want part 2. Let me know your theories and your thoughts in the comments section. And as always, stay unleashed. I'll catch you guys in the next one.